Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the OneManBand is back again, and let's talk about Team Ranger. Throughout Volume 4, we saw the effectiveness of what Team Ranger was. They seemed to get along pretty well, had decent strategy, and were able to overcome obstacles that no one really ever had done in the previous volumes of RWBY. But upon further investigation, and especially now in the series, I really wonder, who exactly is the leader of Team Ranger? I mean, with the setup of the name, people would think that RWBY would be the leader, but I really have to beg to differ. And then with Oscar joining the crew, is it possible that he might become the leader of Team Ranger now, due to the fact that Ozpin is in his head and all? Well, today we're gonna take a look at who should be leading Team Ranger. Now, before we move on to our two best candidates, let's talk about Oscar in the position of team leader. Now, although he does have Ozpin in his mind, and Ozpin can definitely give him advice and information about things, Oscar is still very green. And I mean that in the sense that he has no experience. Not that his color is green, although it kind of is. You get the joke. Oscar has next to no combat experience and has never been to one of the combat academies. He may have Ozpin's latent abilities stored away in his brain, but he hasn't unlocked them yet. He's barely made contact with Crow and hardly even knows how to hold a weapon. I can't see Oscar being in the position as a team leader, at least right now. He still needs to learn what exactly is going on and what his role truly is going to be in the coming volumes. I think Oscar is going to be more along the lines of someone who has great knowledge but doesn't truly know how to present it due to the fact that he has Ozpin's memories and possibly abilities, but he doesn't really know how to tap into them yet. So the prospect of Oscar becoming the leader of Team Ranger is pretty far-fetched. But let's talk about the two main candidates for leadership of the team, Ruby and Jean. Now, both of them were leaders of their appropriate teams, Ruby of Team RWBY and Jean of Team Juniper. But when we really look at it, who really was the better leader of their teams? So for this first part, I'm only going to talk about the feats of Jean and Ruby being leaders of their teams up to the end of Volume 3, because once Volume 4 actually starts, they're officially Team Ranger. So let's take a look at what form of accomplishments Jean had done while he was leader of Team Juniper. Although he had a rocky start and really didn't have the capabilities of being a leader at the beginning, once Jean finally got into the groove of things, he turned into a very competent leader. At the beginning of Volume 1, and in Volume 1, he pretty much had no experience with being a huntsman at all. So it really goes to show, and really makes you think, why did Ozpin choose him to be team leader? And it's because I think Ozpin saw so much potential in him, and he knew that Jean would have the drive to be the best leader he could be, due to the fact that Jean wanted to uphold a family honor, sort of like Weiss. But as we know, Jean's father, grandfather, great-grandfather were all warriors and were all heroes, and Jean wants to keep up that family tradition, if you will. And so even though he tried to go it alone at the beginning of Volume 1, by the end of Volume 1, he knows that he has to take advice and take help from his teammates. He can't do it all alone. And once Volume 2 finally runs around, we see that he's getting better at fighting. He's getting better at strategy, and he's able to start to calculate attacks and take charge of a situation. Especially when the breach happened in Vale, Jean took control of the situation and said, we're gonna go there instead of going back to the school or continuing on their mission toward the village that they were going to help Sheriff. He took charge of the situation like a good leader would. And then when we finally roll around to Volume 3 and the tournament fights, we see in Team Juniper's fight against Team Bronze, he is the best. He is at his best right there. He helps calculate a strategy to help his team win. He's able to see weaknesses in the enemy team's defenses and tell his teammates to coordinate and attack certain targets and do certain things. He's able to formulate a strategy very well and keep his team in order and in check. Jean showed great feats of not even leadership, but also being a strategist and figuring out a plan on how to defeat his enemies. It only really came to a halt when he tried to coordinate team attacks, and that turned into a whole ha 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 funny comedy moment. But in the end, Team Juniper still reigned supreme, and when the Battle of Beacon actually started, Jean once again took control of the situation, helping direct people to attack certain objects, and he was able to keep his team intact by helping Pyrrha when she went off alone, and telling Ren and Nora to remain together because he knew that they would work best together. Now, on the other side, we have Ruby. Now, at the beginning of the show, Ruby was very much a lone wolf. She didn't need friends to help develop. She drinks milk. She didn't really need anybody to be there for her. She had been trained to pretty much be a one-woman army. And just due to, if we look back at Volume 1 and how Ruby acted, it once again makes you think, why did Ozpin choose her to be team leader? She didn't really have the drive or the real capabilities of being a good leader due to the fact that she wanted to be a lone wolf so much. And that's why I believe she was chosen as team leader. If she was just put on a team, she would have still kept those tendencies. But when she's in a position of leadership, she has to engage. She has to be there for her team, and she has to help them and help direct them. Ruby, being leader of Team Ruby, was meant to teach her that teamwork is key and teamwork is important. But although Ruby did take the whole concept of teamwork to heart, she still very much acted like a lone wolf throughout Volume 1 through Volume 3. In Volume 2, she goes off to investigate the White Fang Patrol on her own. Although she does take Zwei, I'll give her that. But really, there's only a few instances where Ruby really calculates a plan. That's when they take down the Nevermore in Volume 1, and when they fight Roman Torchwick in Volume 2 while he's in the Paladin mech suit. Besides that, Ruby just seems almost a bit lost and is just going with the flow. It doesn't help the fact that her team is made up of pretty much battle savants. They are already strong individually. Team Juniper, on the other hand, had to learn to form and fight as a team due to make up to their weaker members. Team Ruby is full of very strong fighters, and they all pretty much knew how to coordinate with each other in a good way. So while Ruby does have leadership capabilities, she still has lone wolf tendencies and didn't really know how to engage people socially. Remember, it wasn't Ruby that helped Blake through her troubles in Volume 2, it was Yang. Now, taking all this into consideration, let's fast forward to Volume 4, where Team Ranger is truly a thing. Now, once again, Team Ranger starts with R, so we would all think, well, Ruby must be the leader, because she has the first letter in the name. And I would say, no, not really. Although Ruby is the driving force of their team, she's the one who wanted to go to Mistral. She's the one who wanted to, figure out what was going on. And that was good. The rest of Team Juniper decided to go with her to help her because they were friends. But of what we've seen of Ruby throughout Volume 4, she once again doesn't really act in a leader sense, but more in a lone wolf sense. She's the one who went off on her own and attracted the Geist Grimm to the ambush for the rest of Team Ranger. It was Jean who started to calculate a plan and figure out how to take the beast down. And it was also Jean who was able to calculate how to fight the Grim Horseman in the finale of Volume 4. All the time, Ruby was more of a attack force, a driving force, while Jean was more of the strategist. And you see, that's what it comes down to. Leaders need to lead by example. That is number one importance. And both Ruby and Jean do this. They're both members that get right into the fight and do their best to do whatever damage they can. This is especially with Ruby. She's always the first in a fight and is always doing her best to take down her adversaries. But you see, leading by example is only half the battle. It's only half the part of being a leader. The other half is knowing the fact that you are the leader. So you can't be taken down because you're the only one who can keep your soldiers, your teammates, in order. It's the same concept of being an officer in the military. An officer needs to lead by example, but they also need to not die. Because if the officer dies, the people below them don't have any form of chain of command. They don't know who they're going to get orders from. That leads to mistakes, which leads to more casualties. A leader of a team needs to both lead by example, but also know when to back off and to form a strategy and to direct the rest of his team to do the most destructive work. Ruby is Team Ranger's trump card. She is probably the best fighter out of all of them and is able to do the most damage and to be the most versatile. But Jean is the best strategist. He is the one who is able to formulate plans, figure out where weak points are, and to help direct his team so that they, as a group, can take down an adversary. And this is why I believe Jean is the better candidate for being the leader of this team. Ruby is a capable leader. She is a capable leader and probably could lead, but she goes into almost a battle trance when she's in a pitched battle, where she just wants to attack, keep doing all that stuff, killing Grimm. Look at the character short at the beginning of Volume 4. Ruby went off on her own to kill all of those Grimm. Now, the rest of Team Ranger, sees the smoke and decides to come on in, but we never see them actually get there. For all we know, Ruby could have killed all the Grimm by the time that they arrived. Now, it is amazing that she was able to kill that many Grimm on her own, but it was also very reckless of her. What if she hadn't killed all the Grimm? What if she had failed? What if she had died and she actually was the leader of Team Ranger? They would have been left without a leader because she was so concentrated on killing the Grimm. A leader needs to know when to attack and when to back off. And I think that person is Jean. But hey, those are just my thoughts, and the real question is, what do you guys think? Hey everybody out there, thanks for watching this video. It's kind of a short one, I know, but I kind of want to supplement and get more of these smaller reviews, smaller ideas out, because although I'm working on big things, they take a lot of time, and these ones I can kind of get out faster. And you know what? I actually really enjoyed talking about this subject. So hopefully I can figure out more subjects for these sort of small analyses videos. So, until next time, I hope you like and favorite if you've enjoyed. Subscribe, of course, if you feel inclined to. Check out links down in the description taking you to other videos I've done, as well as my Twitter page and Patreon page if you want to support me monetarily that way. And until next time, my friends, I need you to be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward. I'll see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. Big thanks to all my Patreon sponsors. I'll see you guys next time.